Hi everyone, it's Aaliyah. Happy Friday. I am just here with a quick update. Well, quick in my book, which means it could be like 15 or 20 minutes because I do tend to go on sometimes. I do have my trusty notes with me because fibro brain fog seems to be a semi-permanent condition at the moment. I hope I will be able to get past it this year. We will see. So I'm going to share a couple of updates. I'm going to put timestamps in the description box down below if you just want to check out what I'm covering, so you can skip around, just check in with one thing or not watch it all. Also, I won't be, because I'm in a rush today, I won't be putting index card links for the channels that I mentioned, but the links will be in the description box down below as well too. So first things first, I wanted to share with you a weigh-in Wednesday this week, but my son's girlfriend and her sister are off in Florida with a group of young ladies, and he brought our scale, well, the scale that I use and have used for years, to their apartment this past weekend for them to weigh their luggage, and he never brought it back. So this Wednesday, I didn't have any weight to report. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you now what my starting weight for the year is as of the last time that I was able to weigh myself, which I think was Friday, December 31st. And so I checked in at 230 pounds, and that is, I think, about 104 kilograms, if I'm remembering correctly, for those of you who hold by metric. That means I'm 62 pounds down from my highest, and I'm hoping to really take advantage of my gastric bypass this year and get down by the end of the year at least to a normal healthy weight for myself. People can do it even without the gastric bypass, losing a pound or two a week, so I'm going to be aiming for a minimum of 2 pounds a week. I know there'll be fluctuations up and down, but that's okay. As long as I average 2 pounds a week, I should be at my ideal goal weight by the end of this coming year, and that would be fantastic. Okay, so that's where I'm holding in terms of the weight. I should have to scale back, I think, by next Wednesday, because she's coming back on Tuesday night, so maybe I'll see it then, and I'll give you an update. Okay, update with the January 2022 Steps Challenge with the channel Derek's Journey. I got off to a great start at the beginning of the week, and then on Tuesday, I made the mistake with my fibromyalgia of thinking, you know what, let me see if I bundle up really well, if I can go out and exercise out in the Montreal winter and be fine. And I found out that no, I can't. And it's not so much the temperature I'm realizing, but it is the dampness, I guess, in addition to the cold temperature, that really flares up my fibro. So I was in a significant amount of pain, and I was going to say discomfort, but let's call it what it is. It was pain, and I'm quite stiff, so the steps for the last few days have sort of like plummeted. So I'm going to be turning in by the end of today. Total steps for the week at around 32,000 over the last 6.5 days. So that's not bad. It's certainly more than I have been doing in the wintertime, but I'm hoping to pick that up. And with COVID now, we have a lot of restrictions in Montreal. So my gym closed back. They had reopened and then they closed back. So I can't use a treadmill there. We don't have a treadmill at home, and I'm not sure if they're letting people linger around the malls to walk indoors. So what I had been doing at the start of this week is I've just been walking back and forth and back and forth inside our home. So I'm going to be continuing with that. And in order to get the steps in, because I ideally want to aim for 16,000 steps a day, or just over that, because that would give me 500,000 steps for the month. So I've got catching up to do because I had a not step full week. There's no such word, but I didn't have enough steps this week. And what I'm doing to get that done with my fibro, because I can't do it all in one shot, that's a significant amount of time invested into walking. I think it's well over 2 hours at the stride rate that I have. I'm planning to break it up over the 12 to 16 hours that I'm usually awake during the day, and spend somewhere like between 15 and 20 minutes every hour getting in a bunch of steps. So that's where I'm holding with Derek's Journey Steps Challenge, and the link to his channel will be down below if you want to participate, okay? I am going to next week. I've been thinking a lot about it this week. Next week, I'm going to reply to make a response video to something that just went up today on Darlene Michaud's channel. I'm so sorry, guys. My fibro brain really impacts my ability to speak clearly sometimes. She grew up with a narcissistic mother. She has a significant number of functional challenges. She's a very successful businesswoman, and she's highly functional, but she suffers a lot with social anxiety and other issues as well because of how she was raised. And she uploaded just today a video called, I don't remember the title, I'm sorry, but it relates to self-doubt as a result of gaslighting. And I think sometimes, whether it's God or the universe, whatever you're comfortable calling it, sends us, we receive messages in things that happen in our lives, things that are mentioned, things that we hear or see, where if we're willing to be open and pay attention, we can see that, wait a second, this is exactly what I need to hear or listen to or see or work on right now. And I have ironically been thinking a lot about self-trust and self-doubt this week as a result of the abuses that I suffered growing up. And I can also tell you that part of my fibro flare, I think, was worsened by the fact that I've been spending a lot of time this week focusing on emotions that I have been stuffing down with food for a very long time, and that I am now beginning to try to look at squarely and address. And boy, I tell you, there are times, and I don't mean this to diminish anybody out there who's suffering from chronic pain, but there are times when I would much rather have a really bad fibro flare or some other discomfort or pain and go through the emotional pain of dealing with all of these buried feelings of mine, because wow, emotions can pack a wallop if we don't address them and face them square on and deal with them. And again, I'm not saying that to diminish anybody's experience of pain. I'm just speaking for myself here. So I'm hoping to create a response video to that, talk about my own experiences with self-doubt and with self-trust and what I'm planning to do about it going forward. And looking at my list over here, I know I've received replies to comments I've left on videos, and I've gotten some more comments on some of my more recent videos, and I just haven't gotten around to everything. I'm sorry. I gotta tell you, and I want to make a separate video on this also, and I do have all of these ideas written down, and I plan on tackling them this year. But I actually find it hard to accept love and support from people, whether it's in comments that I get to my videos or on Instagram or in DMs, or it's in emails that I receive. And I think that's because I so desperately needed a lot of love and protection and support when I was little, and that not only wasn't there, but it was made abundantly clear to me that I wasn't worthy of it. At least that's how I interpreted it. Now I know that it was just simply my parents' own mental health struggles, particularly my mother's. But goodness gracious, that really has an impact on me when somebody has something nice, kind, or loving to say. And that's sometimes also partly why I think I withdraw socially. Not to discourage anybody from saying anything nice, because it really is appreciated and it does mean a lot to me. But just to say that it is so overwhelming sometimes to get feedback that indicates that, hey, you know what, Aaliyah? You are a worthwhile person. You have your faults and your shortcomings and your imperfections like everybody else, but you do have worth and you are a lovable person. And sometimes that just makes me overwhelmed with happiness where I want to cry, but also makes me sad to think that I myself wasn't able to give myself that message over the past several decades. And that's what I'm going to be working a lot on this year. So that's what I'm up to. And thank you for being patient and listening through this if you've made it this far. And I want to share one more thing, and it's not last but not least, I'm going to say, it's just that this is where I wrote it down on my list, okay? There's this lovely lady here on YouTube that I just had the pleasure of meeting, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Her name is Angie. She has a channel, and it's called Angie Smith, aka It's Me, Angie. And she's very, very lovely. She is sharing all sorts of aspects of her life, but particularly how she is going forward with a lot of positivity and hope and optimism through her journey with sarcoidosis. I think I got that out okay. And she's growing her channel slowly but surely, and she's going to be going live for the very first time this month. I don't think we have a date for that yet, but that's very, very exciting. I remember the first time I went live and how exciting that was for me, and if you've done it, I'm sure you remember those feelings as well too. So if you would like to connect with somebody who's very sweet and very loving, very positive, she and her husband, James, I believe his name is, share a number of cooking videos. Recently they did jambalaya. I think they made like a Mexican cornbread. Her husband shares a number of cooking tips like from Louisiana, which is where I think he has a number of his recipes from. And so I'm putting the link down in the description box down below if you want to go and give her a visit and say hi. I'm sure she would greatly appreciate it, and you'll be glad that you did because she's a sweetheart. So to everyone, thank you once again for being my friends, for being so supportive and loving. Thank you for all the kind comments you leave me and the emails that you send me. They really do mean, I'm trying not to choke up here, more to me than I can possibly ever express. And I feel truly blessed that we have this wonderful platform of YouTube where, despite the miles and the continents, we can connect with one another and find kindred spirits. It's a fantastic thing. So I wish you all a really wonderful, loving, happy weekend, a fabulous start to year. I hope everything is going well. Oh, and one other thing, I want to send out a quick shout out to for the SEPS challenge. I'm on the red team, and our team leader, Cheryl Davis, she also has a channel. I'll try to remember to put her link down below. She and her husband are in the midst of COVID right now. I think her husband had to go in for IV because he was severely dehydrated, so he was in the hospital. He's back home now, so hopefully they're resting and they're getting better, and I wish them a full and speedy recovery. So if you could have them in your thoughts and prayers, that would be really wonderful, as well as for everybody else out there who's struggling either with an acute and temporary illness or, God forbid, an ongoing chronic illness. Please let's all have one another in our thoughts and prayers for wellness physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And let's share abundance and love and joy this year as much as we are able. And help each other get through it day by day to be our best selves. Thank you so much for listening once again. I truly appreciate it. Bye for now.